There is only 10% of all people on the planet that own about 80% of global wealth. I'll say it again, 10% control 80% of global cash. To put that in perspective, imagine you're at a dinner party with 10 people. When the food arrives, one person pulls 8 full pizzas towards them, leaving the other 9 people to scramble and fight over the crust of the last 2. Why do you think that is? Of course the system is rigged, and now it's harder than ever to become a millionaire. Or is it? And who rigged the system? Was it the politicians, the bankers, or was it evolution? Here's what science suggests. Only about 10% of the population possesses the specific entrepreneurial traits required to build that level of wealth. This isn't a coincidence. The 10% of the population correlates almost perfectly with the 10% holding the global wealth. So if the system isn't just a conspiracy of the elite, what is it? Science points to a ridiculous conclusion. The remaining 90% aren't being held by the men, they are being held back by their own biology. Our brains aren't broken, they're just optimized for a world that no longer exists. To understand why we stay broke, we have to go back, way back. For 99% of human history, wealth wasn't a bank account or a portfolio of stocks. It was a handful of berries or a fresh kill. Back then, if you found food, you ate it right now. If you tried to invest that food to save it for a rainy day, it would rot, or a predator would take it, or another tribe would steal it. This created what biologists call survival-based brain wiring. Most of us, that 90% we're talking about, are walking around with a brain that is optimized for short-term survival, not long-term compounding. Think about the traits of that wealthy 10%. What do they have? They have high-risk tolerance, extreme delayed gratification, and the ability to ignore social pressure. Now, here's the kicker. In the wild, those traits would usually get you killed. If you took too many risks, a lion ate you. If you delayed eating your food, you starved. If you ignored the tribe and did your own thing, they kicked you out, which was the death sentence. So our brains evolved to crave safety, immediate rewards, and social conformity. In 10,000 BC, those traits made you a survivor. In the modern economy, those same traits make you a permanent consumer. It gets deeper than just instinct, though. There is a concept in behavioral economics called cognitive load. When you are worried about money, how to pay rent, how to fix a broken car, how to afford the groceries, your brain loses processing power. Studies have shown that people preoccupied with financial struggles can experience a temporary drop in IQ of up to 13 points. Think about how massive that is. Being poor makes it statistically harder to think your way out of being poor. When your brain is in a scarcity mindset, your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for logic, planning, and self-control, effectively shuts down. Your amygdala, the fear center, takes the wheel. This is why we make bad financial decisions when we're stressed. We buy cheap fast food because we need the dopamine hit right now to offset the stress. We buy things that we can't afford on credit because we need the social validation, the feeling of status right now. The 10% who own the wealth usually have the mental bandwidth to think 10 years ahead. The rest of us often biologically stuck thinking about next Tuesday. We also have to talk about how the modern world is designed to exploit this poverty wiring. Every app on your phone, every buy now, pay later button, and every ad is a hit-seeking missile aimed at your brain's desire for immediate gratification. The wealthy 10% tend to have a different relationship with dopamine. They've managed to wire their brains to get a hit from building and creating rather than consuming. They get a rush from seeing a business grow or an investment compound. But for the 90%, our brains have been hijacked by the environment around us. We are hardwired to seek the easiest win possible. If you have $1,000 in your pocket, your survival brain screams at you to spend it. It says secure your status. Buy something that makes you feel good right now. The entrepreneurial brain looks at the same $1,000 and asks, how can I use this to buy my time back in the future? It is a literal physical battle between your primitive brain and your future self-brain. And for the vast majority of people, the primitive brain wins every single day. So where does it leave us? Doesn't mean if you weren't born with that entrepreneurial 10% wiring, you're just doomed to struggle forever. Absolutely not. The most incredible thing about the human brain is neuroplasticity. You can actually rewire these circuits, but you have to realize that you're fighting against millions of years of evolutionary momentum. Building wealth isn't just about learning how the stock market works or starting a side hustle. Those are just tools. Real work is about manual overrides. It's about feeling the urge to buy something impulsively, but saying that's just my caveman brain wanting a dopamine hit. It's about feeling the paralyzing fear of starting a new project and recognizing that's my amygdala trying to keep me safe in the cave. The system might be rigged in many ways, but the biggest rig is happening inside your own skull. Once you realize your brain is lying to you about what safety and reward actually look like in the modern world, that is the moment you finally start to move. You stop being a passenger to your own instincts and start becoming the architect of your wealth. The difference between 90% and 10% isn't just what's in their bank accounts, it's how they have trained their brains to perceive the future. If you're ready to start that rewiring process, the first step is awareness. You have to start noticing when your brain is choosing now over later, because once you see the wiring, you can start to change it.